Hello and happy Monday. The weekend went really fast, but I tell you, it was kind of fun to get out and do some things. I don't know for where you live if you're able to do that yet. I know some of us are kind of gently easing our way into the getting out and doing things, but it was fun to do a graduation reception. We went to church. We did a baseball game. My middle son hit a home run, so I want to give him that shout out. So that was kind of fun to see that, and we got some sunshine, and maybe I got a little too much of that, but it was still fun to get out and do that. And just want to load up my Facebook Live on my iPad, so if you guys have questions, I can catch that too. So it's Monday, and if you know me, I love to get back into the swing of things and start off my week productively. So I am here to bring you Carrie Carrier's third card of her virtual party. So I hope you enjoyed the last two cards that I did back Thursday and Friday. And today's card, I geared to be really simple. So here's today's card. And sometimes I have to remember that not all of my customers have a Big Shot or some kind of die cutting machine to do embossing or die cutting. And so with that in mind, I thought if I can do something simple and let the stamps kind of provide the background and texture and just convey the message in a simple way, then you know that you can make cards too without having to use any special equipment. Or if you're a beginner, today's card would be a great card for a beginner too. So I have my Facebook Live on my iPad so I can follow along for questions. And then I just want to show you the stamp set that I'm going to be using it from, and it's Comfort and Hope today. And so every once in a while, Stampin' Up! Gives us challenges. And so the challenge a few months ago that they set out for us was to earn the stamp set, and I thought the stamp set was really beautiful and could be used in so many different ways. And I was thinking sympathy, but there are also other times when we just need to send words of encouragement, and so there's really nice sentiments that go along with that too. So I see a few of you are jumping in, so I'm just going to, I think, adjust my camera and get that going towards my project here. So hi Lois, hi Sharon. Felt like it was a little bit slower on getting people to join today, but it's Monday, so lots of different things happen on Monday. Hello Robin, thanks for joining in. So okay, I'm gonna get my workspace set up here, and it looks like it's a good angle. And like I said, I'm doing a simpler card too, so I don't think that you'll have to worry too terrible much about following along like on some other days. But I'm excited to give you a simple card because not always do I do something like that too. So like I said, here's a stamp set, Comfort and Hope, and I just love all the simple images in here. I love the different sentiments, and I love these stamps that can provide nice backgrounds, and especially when we've kind of retired some of my favorites and such. So it's even little things like this that I add as a background to some of my sentiments too. So this is the stamp set that I'm using today, Comfort and Hope. And if you like to follow along or take notes, it comes from page 88 in the catalog, so kind of with some of the natural type looking nature and outdoorsy type themes of that. So it's on page 88. And like I said, what makes my card different today, and even looking at it in the catalog, there are no that go along with this. It's just a single stamp set, but I am envisioning pairing this often with, like it says, simple texture. And I see this matte in the background. I'm envisioning pairing this often with the tasteful textures or in good taste designer series paper and that bundle too, because I think that would look gorgeous with it. And I was laying in bed last night kind of thinking through some of the designer series paper maybe to put with this, but I decided to just use just plain cardstock and just a couple inks and just the stamp set, and really toning things down today. So maybe it's because we had such a bright card for Carrie on Friday, and even Thursdays was kind of fun and bright too. So let me get started. Here's a shot again this way. I want to show you the card with it showing instead of the font in sentiment being backwards. So comfort and hope. So that can be used, like I said, for different occasions when people just need that note of encouragement and comfort and hope. So the cardstock colors that I'm using, the assortment here is Sahara Sand, and then Night of Navy, and Very Vanilla. And so I'm not doing all the same ink with that. I'm pairing up Sahara Sand with the Sahara Sand neutral cardstock there, but I'm going with Misty Moonlight, and I just wanted a softer stamped image, and the Misty Moonlight offered that more than the Night of Navy. The Night of Navy could have looked, you know, just decent too. And also when I went for cardstock, the reason I didn't go Misty Moonlight to make the ink match is I wanted just a little bit of a deeper frame on my Very Vanilla. So that's kind of why I choose. And I always like to let you know why I do too. And some of you loved seeing what I do with my new ink pad. So I thought, you know, simple card today, I'm just going to do another quick run through of when you get a new ink pad. So hopefully that's not boring you if you watch often. But on the back of my ink pad, I have Misty Moonlight there. So then I'm just going to put that on the front again. Whoops, I have to remember that it's not always that I can look at it myself. I need to be showing you guys. And then there is the nice label that doesn't have any color name to it. And that I just open up on here, and I just slide that kind of in that bottom tray like so. And then with my take your pick tool or scissors or whatever I have, even a bone folder would work, just kind of make sure that that's in there. And then the last sticker, I just grabbed, like I said, one that the Japanese is kind of a hard one, but I try and grab one that looks like it might almost have like Misty or Moonlight on it or something, but it's not so important because it goes on the back side. But then if I have my ink pad facing the other direction, then it's kind of just nice to have that on there like so. So if you're into, I don't know if it's French, it almost looks like it could be. Okay, so that's what I do when I get my ink pads and use them for the very first time. Hi Julie, thanks for joining in. Okay, so I thought I saw that I got some ink there on my thumb, and I want to make sure that I have that off so I don't put it on my card. So what I think I'm going to do is focus on making the background on my base. So my base, of course, is the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, my standard that I usually use and such. Just going to make sure and burnish that so it lays nice and flat with my bone folder. And I love this fun textile, it almost looks like it could be a floor or kind of a zigzag pattern there. I'm just going to ink that up, and I'm just going to stamp it in the corner, and then kind of again in the inside a little bit, and then on the corner. And then I'll do kind of full strength and off a little bit too. So I'm just kind of putting it here and there, not everywhere over the background, some full strength and some not. I just want it to add kind of a textured looking background, and that's all I'm going to do with that. And then we go to the focal point here, and I just want to stamp the sentiment on the bottom first. So this is Very Vanilla. Oh, and I cut this 2.75 by 3.75. If you like, a lot of you like to have the measurements in case you recreate your own too. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp out the comfort and hope on the bottom, and maybe you can tell, I'm going to put it even closer to you. This is the Misty Moonlight ink pad, and it's the Night of Navy cardstock. So you can see a little different. And like I said, I just wanted a little bit of a softer touch of that dark blue, and that provided that perfectly. So comfort and hope is there. And then I'm going to take this image, which kind of just looks like a little wreath or that not linen thread, but that metallic thread that we all love and hate to use. That's what it kind of reminds me of, Twisted Up. But it's a lot easier to stamp this than it is to use that product some days. So I'm just going to kind of center that between the sentiment and the top. And I love that it's kind of a little bit shaded as far as the image isn't continuous. It kind of is just a nice look that way too. And let's see, I want to get some of my inks closer to me. Then I'm just going to ink up this little sprig here of greenery. It almost looks like it could be pine cone sometimes, but just more of a greenery thing. So I'm just going to stamp that out, kind of just put that in at an angle, but within the wreath too, like so. And then I'm going to come back with just 3 little dots. And like I said, sometimes it's those little dots in a stamp set that I will pull out and put on multiple projects of mine too. And so I ink it up once, stamp it out good, and then without re-inking, I just add a couple more just for a little bit more of a pop there too. So that's all I'm going to do with that. And then what I want to bring you to is the new Stamp and Seal. So many of you have noticed that I've always used snail, so that's what I've always been using for years and years and years. Stampin' Up! Has retired this, this product and is now going to this. So whenever anything's new, I'm slow to change. So when I say I love the new ink colors, it was like, I do love them. And so I hope that I love this product as much. So today is kind of my first day with using the Stamp and Seal. And so as this week goes on, I also want to show you the Stamp and Seal Plus. So I'll be getting that out to use as well. And so the Stamp and Seal, you can open up and change out. So when this cartridge is done, you can do that. There is more tape in this than there was in the previous snail too. So even though there's a price increase, I'm thinking that this is actually more economical than the old. And for some of you that go, oh, but I really like this, I did order quite a good supply of this, so if you aren't sure if you want to switch over quite yet, you can get refills for me for a while, because I do have quite a bit, but also know that it's not going to be around. Like, I cannot order any more of the old from Stampin' Up! It will all be this new product. And so I wanted to show you, because everybody wants to know. So it's got this little removable cap, and so with that, I just put that aside, and it just rolls out like we're used to. And I just kind of do a little bit of a check mark. I don't think it's a big deal, but it's stickier than the snail, which to have an adhesive that is sticky and nice and sticky is always good. But because of that, I almost feel like it needs to just have some way of releasing a little bit. It's not a big deal. It's nothing dramatic. If you use the Fast Fuse in the past, that had a definite check mark that you had to use. Otherwise, you'd have kind of this ooey gooey mess trailing. So I think this rolls on super smooth. It does feel stickier, and I think that's what Stampin' Up! Was aiming, was for a product that was just a little bit stickier, and then just know that the Stamp and Seal with the Plus is even stickier yet. So I'm anxious to use that on maybe pieces that I have ran through an embossing folder, and it gets a deep texture, and then maybe I'll want something that has a little bit of a stickier tape to that. So this is just the regular. And then on the back side of this, I'm just going to take some of my Stampin' Dimensionals. I just wanted to pop that up a little bit to give it a little bit of a lift from the base of the card. So I'm putting on about 6 dimensionals, and sometimes I have to think now which ones have I peeled off. So then I just kind of test them all, and they are all sticky. So I have that. And then I'm just going to offset this. So when I put the vanilla on, you can see I didn't center it on there. I had it off a little bit. And then when I put it on my card, I'm also going to put that kind of down in that same corner. Oh, I have a fly that is biting my ankle, you guys. It's like painful. Okay, so then I'm just making sure that all of those dimensionals are sticking to my card well. And so, you know me, I always like to add some type of embellishment or something. And with sympathy, if this is going to be sympathy or kind of a tender moment type card, then I have to kind of watch so that whatever I'm embellishing with doesn't get too bright or too cheery for the occasion. And so I tried different things out and nothing was just looking the way I wanted it to. So I went to my gold glitter enamel dots, and I bought quite a few of these last December because there was the Christmas suite that was exclusive. And I'm just going to take my scissor and zip that along. I don't open it with my adhesive here because I don't like having that adhesive flat back and forth, and so then it just slides out. So it's a nice way to store those. And so even though these are gold and glittery, it actually, I felt, was like the perfect backdrop for this type of card, or actually add on maybe more than a backdrop. So I'm just going to pull off the middle of the card here for about that size, and then do like the next smaller. I'm just going to kind of put it off to one side of the sprig, and then the next smallest too, I'll just peel that off with my take your pick tool there. So it adds just kind of a subtle thing, and they're too kind of more gold than shiny, and so it could be for a guy or a gal, and so that's kind of nice too to have that option too. So that's all that there is to today's card. Like I said, I just wanted something simple, and I think too, if you wanted a sympathy card, it's something that could be done up, because having them on hand isn't always something that we have. Oh, but I do need to put in the inside too. Okay, so back to the stamp set. There's kind of three, I consider it 3 levels of knowing a person. So if it's somebody that is very near and dear to you, something that you could put in the inside is, know that I love you. Know that I love and care about you. There we go. And so that is something that, yeah, if you know somebody well, that would be good, but it's not just for everybody. And then sending you a paper hug in a really sensitive time where you're sending this card, that might be just a little bit too casual. And so the one I'm going to put in this card is sometimes there are no words, and that can be for different occasions too. So I've put that on my stamp here, and I'm just going to, with this being a lighter inside, I'm going to stamp that just directly right inside there. And then I'm just going to give a little stamp with that sprig at the bottom too, to kind of coordinate matching the inside to the outside of the card. I almost forgot about doing the inside there. So hi Chris, thanks for joining in. So that is it with my very simple card, and hopefully this will inspire you to make some cards and send out to somebody that would need comfort and hope today. So let me just get my camera moved around here like so. And so today is already card number 3 for Carrie Carrier's virtual party. And so today's card, and then the 2 cards that I did last week, Thursday and Friday, will be sent to you if you place a minimum $25 order towards her party. And she also wants to get that wrapped up within like today or tomorrow or so, as well as my first 2 hostesses that I've already done the cards for this month. They are wanting to wrap up their parties within the next few hours today. So, but just know that anytime you order, your order ships directly to you right away, so you don't have to wait for them to close their party. Because the good news is too, starting Wednesday, tomorrow I kind of want to take a break, and with my hostesses closing up, I just want to keep an eye on all the cards that I need to make for you guys, placing wonderful orders for them through me, and I appreciate that. They appreciate that. So tomorrow I just kind of want to go through my list, make up those cards, and make sure that they're getting out in a timely manner. And then Wednesday, I will be starting with my next virtual hostess, Julie Nystrom. And so I am excited to do 3 cards for her. So her virtual party is looking like that'll be Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, Friday afternoon. So that'll be fun to do her cards up too. And I'm having fun doing lots of variety for every hostess too. So you guys are kind of keeping me on my toes, but also letting me show off some of the new products products because they deserve to be showed off. This catalog is just a really nice one, and I keep saying over and over, this probably has the most variety out of any of the catalogs that we've had in a while. Not that the others didn't, but I just feel like when I'm looking through the catalog, it's so diverse, and I see so many of my special stamping people that it would apply to on so many levels. So I hope you're enjoying the new catalog as well, and feel free to like this page so that you can continue to get updates for when I do live crafting inspiration times, and then that helps spread the word too, so that friends can see it as well, and that helps me. So and then another thing too is catalogs are still arriving. I can't believe that it's taken this much longer to get those catalogs out to people, but I am happy that they are making their way to your homes. And if for some reason you have not received your annual catalog or want one from me, please let me know, because I can get that out in the mail to you too. Because at this point, if you haven't received it yet, I will get one out to you myself and not even call Stampin' Up, so that way it gets going right away. So hope you guys have a great week. Once again, happy Monday, and I'll be seeing you again on Wednesday. Thanks.